Hey, what's up, guys? John here. The White House issued a warning to every governor in America that we are in a cyber attack scenario that could impact every water system in the country.
Important warning for America's governors directly from the Biden administration.
To beef up their cybersecurity after hackers recently attacked several cities' water system.
China's multi-pronged assault on our national and economic security make it the defining threat of our generation.
And when you see what they're saying, what they've issued to the EPA, and you start to see how fast things have been ramping up over the last several days, you're going to see one thing and one thing very, very clearly, that America has never been in such an uncertain place ever in history. And that's saying a lot, because every week, every month, things are getting worse and worse and worse. And when you see, for example, just the last 5 days, you can imagine where we're likely headed. So for example, this is March 19th, this is the Telegraph, saying Iran may attack U.S. water supplies, warns Biden administration. Now they said that, 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Then this came up, on the 20th, which 3 days ago. U.S. warns hackers are carrying out attacks on water systems. So it went from they, may to they are in the course of one day. Then you look at this situation. This happened yesterday, Wall Street Journal. U.S. warned Russia before this. So you think about this. U.S. and Russia have a lot of conflict, right? All the different, restrictions, all the different sanctions, all the different, negative ways in which we're trying to impact their economy. And you start to see this. Why would we issue a warning? But they say that we issued a warning. Then you see this. This situation, 1 million people without power, came out yesterday, right? And what they said here is there's no electricity in the second largest city of Kharkiv. The regional head said, and more than 53,000 households in Odessa are without power. Ukraine's energy minister, German Galashchenko, accused Russia of trying to provoke a large-scale failure of the country's energy system. So they're talking about our water supply. They're talking about their energy supply. We are hearing all this different conversation about cyber attacks. You're hearing all of this talk the last several years. Tell me that we're not walking into a very problematic, potentially a very problematic situation here in America. In this video, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you exactly what they're telling the EPA, what they're warning, and what's happening. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's going on in the world's economy. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we would love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in a credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for Monday. Take a look at this. So this is from Florida Today, which is owned by USA Today. They said, are Iran and China trying to foul our water? White House warns governors to be alert, right? March 21. Then this. EPA says today, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA Administrator Michael Regan and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan sent a letter to all U.S. governors inviting state environmental, health, and homeland security secretaries to a convening to their deputies to discuss the urgent need to safeguard water sector critical infrastructure against cyber attacks. This meeting will highlight the current federal and state efforts to promote cybersecurity practices in water sector, discuss priority gaps in the efforts, and emphasize the need for states and water systems to take immediate action. Now, this is what this says, coming directly from them. March 18th. Dear Governor, disabling cyber attacks are striking water and wastewater systems throughout the United States. These attacks have the potential to disrupt the critical lifeline of clean and safe drinking water, as well as impose significant costs on affected communities. We are writing to describe the nature of these threats and request your partnership of important actions to secure water systems against the increasing risk from the consequences of these attacks. Now, they say the main culprits are the Iranian government, People's Republic of China. Now, you remember that movie, Leave the World Behind. Who was it? The main actors in this movie, and I'm not saying this is a direct correlation, I'm not saying that at all, those are Iran and China. And what they said here in Bloomberg is fascinating, because this came out December 20th, right, about 3 months ago. And they said, in Leave the World Behind, a much-hyped Netflix starring Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke, hackers strike the U.S., sending the country into apocalyptic mess. Shipping containers, ships plow into the beach. Thousands of hijacked Teslas pile up on the roadways. As the credits roll, society teeters on the brink of civil war. But could it really happen? The film, based in 2020 novel of the same name, and counting Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as executive producers, arrived on the streaming service During a barrage of real-life attacks, dire warnings, a Russian cyber attack on the Ukrainian telecommunication company cut civilians there off from basic communication and critical alerts about Russia shelling. A hijacking group linked to Iran's military recently comprised of U.S. water utilities, though the safety of water wasn't affected. But even just to have that conversation here, it's strange. Meanwhile, a British parliamentary committee warned that the country isn't prepared for a hypothetical crippling ransomware incident. Still, cybersecurity experts told me that it was unlikely hackers could create such a large-scale chaos. Some of the scenes from Leave the World Behind, such as Teslas piled up on the roadways, are far-fetched, says Jason Casey, Chief Executive Officer of the authentication company Beyond Identity. Now, when you see this, and then you look at what they're saying here, threats actors affiliated with the Iranian government Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, have carried out malicious attacks against the United States critical infrastructure entities, including drinking water systems. In these attacks, the IRGC affiliated cyber actors targeting and disabled a common type of operational technology used at the water facilities where the facility had neglected to change the default manufacturer password. Who would not change the water? If you're in control of a water factory, a water system, not change the manufacturer's password. That is absolutely ridiculous. Right? It's like buying a lock from Walmart that has this sticker on the back of it and locking up expensive camera equipment and leaving the sticker on the back of the lock, right? That's what essentially they're saying. The People's Republic of China, state-sponsored cybersecurity known as the Volt Typhoon, has comprised information technology of multiple critical infrastructure systems, including drinking water in the United States and its territories. Volt Typhoon's choice of the targets and patterns of behavior are not consistent with the traditional cyber espionage. Federal departments and agencies access with high confidence that Volt Typhoon actors are pre-positioning themselves to disrupt critical infrastructure operations in the event of geopolitical tensions and or military conflicts. So you see this, and you have to ask yourself, what are the odds? Like, is it 5%? Is it 1%? Is it 10%? 20%? 1% is a lot. 1% is a lot. Within 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, America would flip upside down in this type of situation, right? And this is what they're warning. The EPA is issuing this warning. The White House is issuing this warning to 50 governors. You're seeing the chaos unfolding overseas. Every single day, situations are getting worse. I personally think that, the odds are greater than 1%, like definitely greater than 1%. But I guess time will tell. I mean, they're issuing this warning. Drinking water and wastewater systems are an attractive target for cyber attacks because they are a lifeline critical infrastructure sector, but often lack the resources and technical capacity to adopt rigorous cyber attack practices. As a sector risk, management agency identified in presidential policy for water and wastewater systems, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is the lead federal agency for ensuring the nation's water sector is resilient to all threats and hazards. Partner with state, local, tribal, and territorial governments are critical for EPA to fulfill its mission. So this is what they're issuing this warning. This is signed off directly by them. And then you just see kind of how fast this scenario is unfolding. Like, for example, they said, look at this, they just said, look, homeless, miss out on properties due to this cyber attack. Then you have this scenario going just the last week. You're seeing the IMF saying they were hit by a cyber attack. Vietnam struggling with one. California doctors struggling with one. Like all these different scenarios. Then you see this situation. Here, you go 24 hours and you can see, right here, Indianapolis, 58 minutes ago. The White House is warning people across the country of increased attacks on water systems. The U.S. water sector has around 50,000 public, and they go on, right? Public water systems, but continues to struggle with these threats. And this came out today, right? This came out today. I'm betting that 2024 is going to be very different than 2023. It's going to be very different than 2022, 2021. Every year since 2020, things have just gotten a little weirder, a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more uncertain. In 2024, 2025, I'm betting things are going to be very, very, very bumpy, to say the least. I mean, think about this. Even with disregard to this situation, if you look at the state of the U.S. consumer, the amount of stress, the amount of anger that most people have today that they did not have 5 years ago, imagine if a situation like this unfolded. Like America would change abruptly, overnight, at levels in which many people can't even comprehend. Everything would come, it would go from 0 to 100 overnight. Now, am I saying this is definitely going to happen? No. But I'm saying that the fact that the White House is issuing this warning to 50 governors, the fact that we're seeing all these different scenarios that are unfolding overseas, the fact we're seeing situations get worse and worse by the day, I'm saying that it's not impossible. What do you think about this scenario? Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. Do you think we're walking into this situation that the White House is warning? Or do you think this is just going to come and go and within a week this will be old news and everyone will forget about it? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. You people share this content to educate more people about what's going on in America's economy, the world economy. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself what I believe is going to be the greatest rug pull in American history, we'd love to help you. At my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for Monday, and I'll catch you next video.